Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. I am super excited to get right into this one with you. We're going to be exploring a massive, unexpected, and completely organic economic boom. And the crazy part? It's being driven entirely by digital workers. We're talking about a transformation that totally flips the script on how we traditionally think about economic growth. If you're fascinated by how sheer individual hustle can bypass roadblocks and just build a booming digital economy from the ground up, you are in the exact right place. So, let's jump straight into the numbers.
30 million. That is the exact number of jobs Pakistan literally has to create over the next decade. Just pause and think about the sheer scale of that for a second. That's enough jobs to employ the entire population of some countries. It's an incredibly steep hill to climb, and it perfectly sets the stage for the massive economic stakes we're discussing today.
Okay, let's dive into this. This quote from the World Bank president really hits the nail on the head. He says Pakistan must create up to 30 million jobs over the next decade to turn its youth bulge into an economic dividend or risk instability and outward migration. We aren't just talking about missing a mild economic target here. We're staring down a demographic cliff. You've got this massive youth bulge entering the workforce. If there are jobs waiting for them, huge economic dividend. If there aren't, well, then you risk severe instability and a mass exodus of talent. So the pressure here is absolutely immense.
Section 1. The looming job crisis and declining traditional sectors. To figure out how to fix this, we first kind of need to look at what isn't working right now. On the one hand, you've got traditional brick-and-mortar industries that are really struggling. We've seen a significant decline in large-scale manufacturing's contribution to the GDP recently. But in that exact same challenging economic climate, digital services exports actually shot up by 19% in just the first 8 months of the fiscal year. It's such a stark contrast, right? While heavy manufacturing is slowing down, these agile digital services are just accelerating.
Section 2. A digital silver lining. 2.3 million. That's the size of Pakistan's active freelance workforce. These are the real heroes of our story today. This massive base of digital workers is basically single-handedly powering the IT sector's growing exports. And you know what's truly mind-blowing? Having an active base this large actually puts the country in the top 5 freelancing nations in the whole world. Millions of young people, armed with just laptops and internet connections, are quietly reshaping the country's entire export profile.
And they are bringing in serious capital. $557 million. That's the record foreign exchange these freelancers brought in during just the first half of the current fiscal year. Let that sink in for a minute. Half a year and over $500 million injected directly into the local economy by independent digital workers. It's just phenomenal. Now, what's really interesting about this data is the massive gap between what's happening right now and what could happen. We just talked about that $557 million. But experts actually estimate that with the right structural support, national earnings in this field could easily push past the $1 billion mark annually, over $1 billion. So we're looking at a sector that is already wildly successful, but honestly, it's still only scratching the surface of its actual potential.
Section 3. Driven by individual brilliance.
So, how exactly did this sector grow so fast? Well, the credit belongs solely to the individuals themselves. This incredible boom is happening entirely because of individual hustle, not some grand systemic support. These independent workers have built global trust and somehow managed to succeed in a fiercely competitive international market with practically zero government safety net. They've done the whole shebang on their own, which frankly makes those numbers we just talked about even more staggering.
Section 4. Lessons from global neighbors.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly where the gaps are when we look at how competing countries support their digital nomads. In Pakistan, the sector is in its infancy with hardly any formal support. But jump over to Bangladesh, and they've actually integrated freelancing right into their national development agenda. They give national recognition to their top performers just to boost visibility and encourage others to take this career path. Then look at China. They are literally offering free living spaces to freelancers and physically converting idle data centers into incubators for one-person companies. I mean, the contrast and proactive policy is just night and day.
Section 5. Blueprint for digital growth. So, how do we go from sheer individual survival to structured, explosive growth? Well, here are the essential government interventions needed right now. First up, a 10-year tax break for freelancers. You need to heavily incentivize and motivate this workforce. Second, bringing PayPal to the country.
This is absolutely crucial, and not just because it's convenient, but because having this platform massively increases international trust. Clients prefer it, which instantly opens up new opportunities for content creators and freelancers. Plus, formal payment gateways help the government transparently track these digital earnings. Finally, the country really needs to develop nationwide incubation centers to help these freelancers level up their skills and scale their businesses.
Let's move along and see how this builds, especially when we talk about infrastructure. The recent 5G spectrum auction is a great starting point, but as always, the execution is what actually counts. Step 1 is executing that auction, but Step 2, implementing preferential 5G pricing specifically for freelancers. Think about it. For a digital worker, high-speed internet is literally their factory floor. Subsidizing this connection creates an immediate, highly tangible opportunity to turbocharge the digital economy.
Finally, you need to create a system that basically feeds itself. A mentorship chain reaction. It starts with the government stepping up and recognizing high-earning freelancers at the national level. Then you provide these top performers with a dedicated workspace. And the final piece of the puzzle? You incentivize them to train new freelancers. By adopting this mentor model strategy, you trigger a chain reaction that pulls more youth out of poverty, equips them with viable, modern skills, and integrates them directly into the global workforce. It creates a self-sustaining ecosystem of continuous growth.
Which brings us to the ultimate question we really have to ask today. Will Pakistan empower its digital heroes and provide the structural support needed to hit that billion-dollar potential? Or will it let one of the absolute greatest organic economic opportunities of the decade just slip away? The blueprint is right there. The talent is already out there hustling. Now, it's just a matter of action. Well, thank you so much for exploring this fascinating topic with me today. Keep asking those tough questions, keep looking at the data, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.